Indeed.
Now, as you may have seen there, Bully Boys so far not exactly doing the greatest in standings. They are 0-3, and it's going to get a little bit difficult for them to really make it into a top-notch playoff spot at this point. Invading Rhinos doing a little bit better. They're sitting at 2-1, so this is a very important week for them as well. If they manage to go to 3-1, they can, keep in line with Cake for that second place. As right now, of all teams, the Holy Roman Army is actually one that's sitting at the top of Anvil division.
Yeah, it is.
Which I don't think really anybody expected.
No.
I'm not even sure that Holy Roman Army expected that one.
I don't think anybody did. I don't think anybody really did at all. It's been a good tournament, especially in Anvil division, for the underdogs, really.
Yeah. Cake and Holy Roman Army sitting at the top of that division. Certainly a surprise, and I would say as big of a surprise that the Bully Boys, Blackflight Squadron, are doing as bad as they are so far. They have lost their first 3 games, and even though they've seemed a little bit more competitive in each successive game, they still haven't managed to win anything, and that's not looking so good for them.
Well, realistically, they have fought quite a few difficult teams to begin with. They first started off against Overwatch, which are a very practiced and very well cohesive team over in Hammer Division on the first week. Then they played the Holy Roman Army, which are dominating everybody at the moment, and then Zill's Merry Men, which are roughly in the middle of the pool. So it was 50-50. Really, the only team that I personally would have thought they would have had a firm chance to beat would have been Merry Men, but it just didn't come out last time.
Yep. And, we'll see how they do, of course. Brick is once again back piloting last a couple of weeks ago when they played against Merryman. He was not, so I'm guessing he was out of town or something of that sort. But he is back, captain again. Good to see him once more. Of course, once again, guys, if you want, you can also watch the dual stream over at robanddan.tv/live. There you can watch both Anvil and Hammer divisions. I think the first match of theirs has been actually quite exciting between Overwatch and Clamor. So definitely go watch there. You can watch both of our streams from that link. And we are just waiting for a few more minutes. A couple of more minutes, I think, is what we're going to need to go and get ready. So let's take a look at the ships here. So it looks like we've got double Pyra coming from the
Bully Boys.
Yeah, Bully Boys Blackflight Squadron side, and we actually got a Spire coming in from Invading Rhinos side.
Invading Rhinos have had a good track record with spies, in my opinion. They seem to, not necessarily the very long-range spies like the Lumberjacks, but the semi-short range like the Hawatchers and the Heavy Flags, they do very well with, really. They know how to use them and how to avoid getting into a sticky situation, but they seem to have changed because a Spire against 2 Pyramidians isn't really the best idea. You're always going to be caught fighting one or the other.
Yeah, and they have changed it now, and I was going to say, against double Pyro on a map like Duel at Dawn, that seems kind of risky.
Yeah, I think that probably would have been the logic for the Bully Boys. Keep those 2 Pyramidians and focus on the weaker Spire, but they're going to cut that weakness off and just go for their own Pyramidians.
Yep. So it looks like it will be an all Pyro match, and I'm not too surprised at that. Pyro's definitely a strong ship. I personally think you can beat a Pyro pretty handily with a Junker, but on a small map like this and a lot of terrain, I can see them wanting that ram possibility as well from both teams.
Yeah, I can see that. I do agree with what you're saying. It is quite easy to disable a Pyramidian, but it's very hard to out-brawl a Pyramidian, unfortunately.
Yeah, and, we're seeing a good old Pyro, quadruple Pyro. I think we've only, I'm trying to remember if we've had any all Pyro matches. I know we've had a lot of double Pyro from one side, but I don't know if we've seen all Pyros. I think we may have had 1 or 2.
I think we had one. I think it was Sky Invading Rhinos against the Art of Warfare in week 2, I think it was. I think it might have been. I might be a little off with that. I'm sure it was that one.
Yeah, it's quite possible. And there has been a little bit of discussion about, Pyras and the fact that their usage. I think, I think Sammy had some numbers where it was like in the first however many weeks, it was like 60 Pyras were used, and like everything else was the max was like 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a very, very well liked and very oft used ship.
Yeah, well, in fact, it's very easy to get those fast kills with a paramedian because as well as having a Gatling gun for hull stripping and a mortar, you've also got a ram. If you haven't got anyone behind you disabling engines, you might as well have a free weapon.
Yeah. Now I will say that we actually saw it was Cake versus Merry Men, last week as one of the matches where Merry Men brought double Pyra against, I want to say it was Goldfish Junker. I think I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, you actually really saw, in my opinion, the lack of turning ability on a Pyra really coming back to hurt them. Now, when you have quadruple Pyra from, double Pyra from both teams, that's not going to matter as much because everybody's going to be turning slow. But that is definitely a way you can take advantage of double Pyra on one side. But we are getting into our first match here between Blackflight Squadron and Sky Invading Rhinos, one of our two matches that will be cast here today. And we will be at Duel at Dawn, as we have mentioned. As you can tell on the little graphic there, first to 5 kills wins the match. Duel at Dawn, probably our smallest map in the pool, and really unique in the fact that you can basically spawn anywhere, so you often get all the spawns right back into the fight that it was in. We've got on the Bully Boy Blackflight Squadron side, if we got a slight pause, so that's good for us. We can get some quick ships announced. We've got the Uchi Kudake, that is Gilder's ship. It is a Pyramidion with double front Hades and with a mine launcher and a flamethrower on the side. And on the Algernon, we've got the Gatling mortar Metamidion brick hardcastle piloting that with a Artemis Mercury on the side.
Yeah, and over on the Sky Invading Rhinos team, we've got Wunsland piloting the Rambition, Pyramidion with Gatling gun carronade, which is a strange mix, but though I think very useful for this map. Ramming into terrain and hull stripping will be very useful, with side flak and flare gun to deal with the clouds. We've also got the, how do you pronounce that? The Grand. Oh, the classic old Grand, flown by Phelan. This is his usual lumberjack, not lumberjack, Hades flak build. We've seen this quite a lot, and it's been very effective throughout the series.
Very much so. Yep. And it's also, of course, got the Artemis and flare gun sides. And we're already getting into some fighting going on as the pause has ended. And we've got a lot of shots going on between the two red chips and the Grand. But now our ambition is actually coming around on the side and getting that Gatling onto the Uchi Kudake. And now it's switching around for that flak. And oh my, that was extremely effective there. That was more effective than I ever thought that would be.
Yeah, we've got the Algernon now trying to either escape Grand or deal with Rambition. I can't tell which one exactly they're going to go for at the moment.
Oh, Uchi Kudake. Oh my god, their ambition. I am absolutely speechless. That worked beautifully, just using that carronade Gatling to strip that hull and then just flip around quickly to the side on their ambition. Oh my, that was absolutely beautiful. Now Algernon is taking a lot of fire here from the Grand, and her ambition is just going to get absolutely wrecked here. Wow. Wow.
That is actually a very clever use of the Rambition. Very rarely you see a Pyramidion set up to have used its side guns along with its front guns. Now you've got that far right slot with the flak attached to it, and there must have been some sort of update which I have completely missed. But I didn't know the flak had come around that far.
I did not either. I mean, that was just a really quick, just like throw your butt out there, and there it goes, the flak going on. And I was a little bit questioning at their ambition of their loadouts because, why are you bringing a carronade to an all pyrophyte, which it's still, you know, I feel like maybe if you really wanted to do this, you could have done a double Gatling up front instead, and you know, kind of cause the same amount of damage. But that I am shocked, as you can tell. I can't really afford to go speechless as a caster much, but man, that I am. That was absolutely brutal, and I think the Bully Boys got completely caught off guard at that as well. They were probably thinking, "Whoa, that's as a carronade up front. Well, what are they thinking?" And then they just absolutely get wrecked so quickly there.
Yeah, that didn't go very well for them. But on the other side of things, I think I disagree. I think carronade is very effective against a Pyramidian. But they seem to be focusing down the same targets again now.
Yep, Rambition coming on in. Algernon, I think, moved a little bit too far ahead there. Now the Ukijikudake getting slapped by the Gron from the back as well. And this is just not gone well for the Blackfight Squadron as well. Now finally Algernon and Rambition, little duels going on there. But Sky Invading Rhinos really keeping up on the Uchikudake here as... now Gron has actually switched to the Algernon. Looks like they're going to focus on the Algernon, but Rambition taking that damage there, and will they finish him off? No, not quite.
No.
So close. Algernon coming on fourth. Looked like the Gron was trying to go in for a little bit of ram. They're not going to happen now. Rambition trying to flip itself around. Will they get those final flash shots off? No, they cannot, as the Algernon repairs itself. Rambition hurting so much. Algernon, however, lost his balloon and armor, and down he goes. Gron has flipped around, but in the meantime, Uchikudake does manage to finish off Rambition finally there for the Blackfight Squadron, so they will get at least one kill. But now Uchikudake and the Gron exchanging that Hades fire.
Yeah, we both got both high-powered long-range ships. Just see if they can beat the snot out of each other until their shorter-range allies come back.
Yep, Gron now flipping around as Uchikudake is gone below them, and let's see, where will these spawns happen? They actually spawn right next to each other, basically in the same place, and they're coming up right around.
I wonder if one's going to notice the other. Yes.
Oh, a mine hit actually goes off on the Gron there. Nice mine hit, and now the Gron is actually taking a lot of damage there, and wow. Great use of a mine there. I didn't see where it hit, but I did see the hit markers from it. However,
yeah,
Algernon...
there was a mine hiding in the clouds fired by somebody. I don't know who's got the mine
yeah,
launcher.
it's Uchikudake has a mine launcher, but now Algernon is actually taking a lot of damage here. Will they be able to survive? They just managed to do so. Rambition having lost his armor, but those mortar shots just falling short there.
Yeah, just out of range for those mortar shots. A good idea for the Rambition to back up and get away. Hopefully the Gron can get in there, take a bit of fire.
Oh, the Gron spawns right into the action here, as you do have that happen on this map quite a lot. Gron and Uchikudake now going at it. Algernon coming on in. Will they get those Rambitions on? Yes, they do, and it is a 3-3 tie, but so far Blackfight Squadron has a lot of damage on them, so this is not, you know, this is still a very iffy game for them. They do have the Grand in their sights, and
yeah.
If they don't manage to finish this ship off, it's going to get extremely hard to win this match. But Grand, oh, they do manage to escape it.
Stays alive just for a little longer.
Yeah, those mortar shots not being able to hit.
Now we seem to have the Rambition has spawned away from the fighting this time. Probably waiting for the Grand to die so he can come back in force, perhaps.
Yeah, there you go. Grand does get taken down there. I think the Rambition maybe thought that they were going to kill off the Grand a little bit faster than they did, but Bully Boys on the precipice of winning their first game, and after such a beautiful start there by the Sky Invading Rhinos, they've kind of collapsed. Yeah,
they seem to have done very, very well. Those unique flank build at the beginning, as well as that outflanking maneuver, seemed to just bide them the edge at the beginning of the game. But it's always a tough uphill slope once you're in the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, they do have both of these Blackfight Squadron ships at fairly low health, so it's really anybody's game at this point still, and it's been a very competitive game so far. We've had a really actually clutch mine hit from the Uchikudake that helped them a lot. Oh, flare going down through those clouds, spotting the Uchikudake, getting focus fired by the Rambition and the Grand. Algernon has to come in here as quick as possible. Try to get some shots off. Uchikudake taking so much damage here. Algernon just managed to get in this fight, and this can actually end up being horrible here. So Algernon is spotted, and this is a 4-4 tie, and Algernon with so much damage on it already.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very close fight indeed.
Oh, and the ram comes in, but actually
Oh!
that kills the Algernon there. He tried to ram their ambition, and actually that basically dropped all of his armor and finished it. Energy. I'm not sure what shot finished him off there, but that.
There's a Hades shot that came in just from behind.
Oh, that is a tough break there for Break. Tried to get their ambitions arcs out from under them, but oh my, that was an extremely close game there.
Man, that was good fun.
All right.
Oh, really, I don't think anyone made any great mistakes there. I think that was just good, honest brawling.
Yeah, so that was man, that was quite an exciting match there. Bully Boys almost managed to pull it back, but unfortunately, they do take their 4th loss of the year instead. Sky Invading Rhinos just managing to pull it through, assisted by, if we want to use some World Cup terminology here, basically an own goal going there from the Black Flag Squadron. Still quite an exciting match, and what a way to start off a day.
That was a very good match indeed. I can't really point out any missteps. Yeah, that mine played a bit of trouble into it, but honestly, accidents like that happen. You fire a mine off and hope it'll hit the enemy, but it stays around. It's not as if it's going to disappear anytime soon, and I run into plenty of my own mines playing this game.
Yep. All right, so looks like on the other stream, Clamor ended up being Overwatch as well, so I think that was an upset. But regardless, that will do it for our first match of the day, so we are going to take a little break here. Our next match will start at
5 past.
Yep. So it will be. It'll take a little while here. So do go and watch the split stream in the meantime. Here is the link once more, where you can watch both myself and Robin Dan's stream. The second game for them should be coming up fairly soon. So we're going to take a little bit of a break here, and we'll be back with our second match between the Glowwater Thralls and Sacrilege, which should be an outstanding match. So do come back, and in the meantime, go and watch the other matches. All right, we will see you guys in a little bit.
See you later.